with Stephen Curry, and Steph, Coach made a point of stating how important the physical presence would be.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half. The first thing I've got to do is give a little tip of the cap to our bench guys. You really answered the bell when we called on you. Those were important points we got from you fellas. Something I did like? Well, a bunch of times we forced a turnover that led directly to a bucket. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen a few more times after the half. Okay, one more thing. A smooth flow to the second half is just what we're looking for. Let's keep things moving, but not at some kind of breakneck pace.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting.
Let's go, you're up.
My time.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. And Golden State looking at who they've got. On the wing, Thompson and Iguodala. It's Lee and Bogut inside, and it's Livingston in at the 1 spot. Gay drives in. Outside Collison. Just 5 to shoot. And McLemore kicks to Gay. That one off the back iron and out.
Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure.
Buckets. He's checked in for Sacramento. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Mike Malone gave to his team during that last break. He went over the offensive plan and that it hinges on running through McLemore. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Bogut. And that misses. That would have put him up. Sacramento's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3.
Rudy Gay is listed at 6'8", but he has a 7'3" wingspan and tremendous athleticism. That really helps him defensively, both on the perimeter and inside, where he contributes on the glass and blocking shots.
Here is Livingston. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Pass to Buckets. To the wing right side. From downtown. It's rebounded by Livingston. The Warriors trail. .152 left here in the third quarter. And it's Buckets with the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for Sacramento?
Now, we've seen them make that extra effort rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace, really sending shots back.
And Steve, we can't fail to mention all the steals they piled up too. I mean, that's making a big difference. They've really gotten into them defensively.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Evans. Terry comes in for Rudy Gay. And Ray McCallum subbed in for McLemore. Green against Cousins. Beyond the arc. Green, no luck.
Really good offensive execution. Nice pick, just couldn't get the shot to go.
Boy, you love to see that as a basketball purist. Guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
Feeds it to McCallum. He kicks to Terry. Shoots the 3. And he gets it to go. Terry's got the lead up to 2 now for Sacramento.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
With all that Sean Livingston went through with his horrific injury a few years back, Steve, it's amazing just to see him out there on the floor playing basketball.
Yeah, I remember seeing that live. It was one of the most awful things to see on a basketball court, and I just have so much respect for Livingston, the way he's continued to grind it out and carve out a career for himself. He's become a very, very good player.
And the Warriors making a change here. Curry's checked in. There's 49 seconds left to play in the third. And Cousins kicks to McCallum. There's the pass to Buckets. Tries a 3. Barnes grabs the miss. Barnes has got his 4th rebound in this one.
And with Livingston, you know, he had to adjust the way he played after the injury, but was able to pick things up on the fly as he managed to be a contributor on every team that he's been on since the injury. And I think that says an awful lot about him as a player and as a person.
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, even from here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, pretty obvious. And a good call by the official.
Free throw good by Curry. The Warriors making a switch here. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
You know, he's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line.
Barlow, guarded by Curry. Here's Barlow. His three-pointers off the mark. From half court, no luck. And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. The Warriors on top, up 2. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm. Reggie Evans, he's checked in for Cousins. McLemore has come in for McCollum. And it's buckets in for Darren Collison. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for the Warriors. Thompson comes in for Steph Curry. Barlow, he's in at point guard. Evans is out there with Rudy Gay. Then it's Thompson, and it's McLemore at shooting guard. That's the 5 out there for the Kings.
Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games, Steve.
The Kings trail by 5. Buckets passes to Evans. Sacramento moving it around. Here's Barlow. They get it again.
Looks like he's just trying to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but I don't know about that shot attempt.
And Thompson kicks to Iguodala. Passes it to Lee. On the wing, Thompson. 11 feet away, and the shot is good. And the Warriors lead by 7.
They are not letting up, guys. They just keep coming out.
And I'd say that was big to overcome at this point.
Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Barnes. 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And he ends up making the second, and that trims the lead to 6. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one, and that's an intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. Nedovic is checked in for Golden State. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Sacramento's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. From past the arc, no good from buckets.
Not a bad look at the hoop, just couldn't get it to bounce in for him.
Thompson dishes to Nedovic. So we see the Warriors get the win here. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Yes, Kevin.
I hope some satellites went out tonight because I hate to think somebody actually saw that performance.
Yeah, man, we was pretty bad. We couldn't hit a thing. We'll get them next game.
We got to do better than that. I say we hit the gym right now and get some reps.
Tonight?
The sooner the better. I'll meet you there in a few, all right?
All right, you the vet. Let's do it. Give me a minute.
That's the way to put in the work. Might not pay off tomorrow or the next day, but work always pays off eventually. Now let's get out of here.
Hey, boss, I came as soon as the trainer told me. What's going on?
I appreciate that about you. Since you've been here, you've been responsible, good teammate, hard worker, which makes this that much more difficult for me. As you know, your 10-day contract is up. You've done some good things, but we just don't see a place for you on this team moving forward.
But I thought I was holding my own.
Yeah, you were. But this is in a league of water carriers, and we need a lot more than that here.
I mean, but you never even told me what I need to do. If it's more weights, if it's sprints, if it's film room.
Son,
I mean, whatever.
The decision has been made, and who knows, maybe you'll catch on somewhere else, you know? But we appreciate the contribution, and it's time we parted ways.
Well, thanks for the chance. But I want you to know this. This is not the last time you heard of me.
I hope not, son. And if any other GMs reach out, I'm going to tell them you handled yourself like a pro here. Good luck.
All right, thank you, sir.
Would you please put that controller down? We've got business to discuss. Now, there's an old saying I'm fond of. Beggars can't be choosers.
No, that's a cliche. And we're not beggars, so what else?
Yeah, we're not beggars yet, but we both will be if you don't start bringing in some of that do-re-mi, all right? Now listen, we've got another offer on the table, a 10-day deal. It's not with a contender, but there's another saying I'm fond of.
And what's that?
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I know it's not what you want, but it's a chance to compete, build a highlight reel, show all the GMs across the league what you can do. What do you say?
Man, I say I'm tired of this couch. Let's get back to work.
What do you say we head out early, get some extra shooting in?
Hey, is that obvious, huh?
Everyone struggles with their shooting sometimes, man. Nothing to trip about. Just get back to work is all. So what you think?
Cool. I can use all the help I can get. I gotta do something different. You ready now?
Cool. That's some good work right there. You're going to see a difference tonight. Hold the scoreboard operators ready because we're going to be lighting it up all night long. Let's do this.
Hey, I hear that.
It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline report tonight is Doris Burke. He's checked in for Smith. Gallinari, he's checked in for Denver. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin, its speed bumps, if you will, some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite figured out how to come together.
So out there for the Nuggets right now, Lawson at point with a Flalo. Near the back, Kenneth Faried is out there with Gallinari, and it's Chandler. And at the small forward position, P.J. Augustine's checked in for the Pistons. Comes in for Brandon Jennings. Denver also making some changes. Mozgov, he's checked in for Kenneth Faried. Foy comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And Nate Robinson is subbed in for Ty Lawson.
And you look at the Pistons, some great size and athleticism inside, but they've lacked the high percentage outside shooting to space the floor offensively. I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
Augustine passes to Buckets. Hits the front of the rim and out.
And, you know, for the Pistons last season, you look at the size and shot blocking ability, and you thought that team would be tougher defensively. But that wasn't really the case. I think it has to be attributed to mindset. Those young, big, athletic guys have to become much tougher mentally at the defensive end to be really successful.
Detroit's gone a meager 1 of 6 from three-point land since we got started tonight. Fires at the elbow. Shot's good. Buckets got his first bucket of the night. Here's Foy. 17 points for him last game against the Celtics in Boston. Out to the right wing. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Again, the Nuggets score. 46 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Barlow. Not enough on that one as it misses.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Good.
Back and forth we go. That basket gives us just another lead change.
And there have been too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
Robinson dishes to Mozgov. And Foy kicks to Gallinari. Shot is blocked, but they recover it. Robinson goes in, and he gets the bucket.
Outstanding job there to absorb the contact and guide it in.
That's how you impose your will against the defender. He came to play.
So both teams making some changes here. And he's got his first chance at the line here. And that one falls for Robinson. Now Singler, right now averaging 7 points a game. The three, another three for Detroit. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, It's tight.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, both teams still kind of feeling each other out here, and neither team has been able to find an edge in this game. Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
Denver shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And you take a look at the statistics. This club is shooting 74% as a team.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
Well, you kind of expect that from him. You pretty much know what the result's going to be when he goes to the line.
He could go. Can't hit. And so the first quarter comes to a close. Both teams scoring well, but it's all tied up. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here.
Hey guys, some keys to talk about from what I've seen so far. This is a tight ball game, but remember, this is our house. Some of the biggest points we scored in the first half came because our defense was sharp and we never passed up a chance to get out and run when they turned it over. I really like that we've made them pay for their mistakes. On a good note, our passing has been very smooth. You set each other up with some really nice assists. That's strong team basketball.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. So out there for the Nuggets right now. Lawson and Aflalo are the 1 and 2. Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. And it's Hickson in at the 5, home in the paint.
And his stroke has been dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
Buckets. Pistons leading by 3.
You know, one thing you like about Aaron Aflalo, he's an outstanding post-up player for a guard. At 6'5", he's got a real knack for scoring with his back to the bucket.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, this offseason, the Pistons bringing in Stan Van Gundy in a dual role as head coach and president of basketball operations. Stan said in a lot of places there's not a connection between the front office and coaching. This setup creates a very unified organization. There are no excuses now. It's on us to get it done. We'll see if they can, gentlemen.
Well, thanks, Doris. Van Gundy builds his roster, then coaches it. We've seen that model succeed with the Spurs and the Clippers. That one is no good. And for Aflalo, Steve, right around the top 5 in efficiency in the post in the entire NBA last season.
Yeah, and his sweet spot really extends on the court, not just from the post, but all the way to the corners. In fact, he loves to work the baseline, Kevin.
Hickson with the bucket.
You know, when the size advantage is that pronounced, I mean, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
Smith on the wing, and there's the pass to Buckets. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Buckets got the lead up to 5 now for Detroit. For Denver, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Hickson kicks to Chandler. He dishes it to Aflalo. 13 feet away. Rebound by Monroe. Monroe's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Fareed setting the pick for Lawson. Pass to Fareed. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Hickson.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash-mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
Nuggets have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Lawson kicks to Chandler. Into J.J. Hickson. Here's Fareed. The second effort. The shot by Hickson, no good. Pistons leading by 3. We've got 1:28 left in the third quarter. Meeks passes to Smith. Shot clock at 5. Here's Barlow. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Bucket's got 14 points.
How about that? Gets it off right in the face of the big fella. Quick release.
And operating on the perimeter like that negates some of the height disadvantage, too.
And a different look here for the Pistons. .50 left in the fourth quarter. Barlow, he's in at point guard. Kyle Singler is out there with Yarebko. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. Barlow, guarded by Robinson. Pass to Caldwell-Pope. Hits the three-point bomb. And the Pistons lead by 16.
And they're not finished yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, that's how you close out a game, Steve.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Screen by Fareed. Robinson goes in. Shot clock at 6. Foy dishes to Robinson. Fareed trying to get open. And Robinson that time on the assist by Foy.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
Here's Barlow. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. How much to be critical of with this win, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
That'll do it for now. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us. wonderfully symmetrical skyline you have to love downtown Detroit. We're coming at you from the Palace of Auburn Hills in beautiful suburban Detroit as the Pistons prepare to take the...
Let's see what you got, son.
Oh, I got plenty.
And it's Brewer in for Kevin Martin. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Young is out there with Gorgie Dang. Then there's Brewer. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Wiggins in at the 3.
You know, Josh Smith is a very talented player, but if you have to pick his game apart, he's a bit of a tweener. You know, he's not really a power forward in a traditional sense, but not a three-man either. He's an athlete who can do a lot of different things, but so much depends on the players he has around him. It needs to be the right player.
DJ Augustine's checked in for Detroit. Buckets comes in for Brandon Jennings. J.J. Barea's checked in for the Timberwolves. Williams comes in for Ricky Rubio. Here's Barlow. Good on the three-point shot. Barea with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against Memphis.
And no question, you look at his assist totals. I mean, they tell you what a nice job he was doing of really spreading that ball around.
Young outside, out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. Good, and it's Barea who picks up the assist. 12 points here for Thaddeus Young.
What a quarter for him at the offensive end. He's ignored the scoreboard and continued to go out there and do his thing.
Buckets passes to Augustine. 1:07 left here in the first quarter. Here's Barlow. Misses the 3. The Timberwolves trail. Fast break, Minnesota. Here's Barea. Second chance shot. Augustine grabs the board. So for the Pistons, their last game, a win against the Denver Nuggets.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, they were really locked in from beyond the arc in that game. I mean, the result wouldn't have looked anything like it did if they hadn't gotten so hot from long range.
You're exactly right. They were splashing home threes at an unbelievable rate.
Here's Barea. Another miss by Barea.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Barlow. Good defensive work there by Young.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Outside Williams. And Brewer kicks to Young. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there. Here's Augustine. The shot no good.
This Tuesday, February.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before but also making some changes. Brewer is checked in for Young. Dean comes in for Kevin Martin. And it's Williams in for Ricky Rubio. On the court for Minnesota, they've got Nikola Pekovic. Williams is out there with Levine. Then there's Brewer. And it's Wiggins in at the 3 spot. Minnesota's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. Williams passes to Levine. Pekovic with a screen on Augustine. And here's Wiggins. 8 points his last outing. Shot clock at 6. Lets it fly from 18. Good as the jump shot falls. Williams has got the game tied up here for Minnesota. The Pistons have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, thanks, Kevin. Andre Drummond fell to the 9th pick in 2013 on concerns about his passion for the game. 2 years later, he certainly answered those questions and then some. He said, "What's there not to love? You're playing the game that you love. Night in and night out. It's a passion game." Kevin, no one questioning his motor now.
The best offensive rebounder in the league, Doris. Thank you. Here's Barlow. Sinks the triple. Buckets got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
Well, great sign, because after that poor first quarter, now they're playing better offensively and they have the lead.
Levine kicks to Wiggins. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Misses off the left iron.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Good. 12 points for Buckets.
Really aggressive play, taking it to the rim against the big man.
Tell you what, I love that fearless attitude.
Williams with a clean look, buried from 15 feet out.
You're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for him to miss that when he's that open.
Here's Barlow. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And the first half.
Well, Karan, tell us a little bit about the philosophy and style of the team in terms of what's most important to its identity.
Defense, getting stops and, getting rebounds, limiting the second chance points and getting out of transition and getting into a flow ball game. And that's our style.
Karan, thank you for your time as always. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
Hey guys, some keys to talk about from what I've seen so far. This is a tight ball game, but remember, this is our house. Very nice offensive first half from the reserves. You guys had a big impact. We'll be coming back to you in the second half. Something we're going to need if we're going to win this game.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. One guy who's getting it done is Thaddeus Young.
That'll be important.
So for the Pistons, Caron Butler's checked in for Monroe, and it's Singler in for Smith. Minnesota also with the sub. J.J. Barea's checked in for Wiggins. Meeks and Singler at the 2 and 3. Andre Drummond is out there with Caron Butler, and it's Jennings in at the 1 spot. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. A different look here for Detroit. August in for Meeks, and it's Buckets in for Brandon Jennings. Mo Williams is checked in for Minnesota. Here's Barlow, and it's all evened up. Buckets got 14 points for the game. Timberwolves have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Here's Martin, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Minnesota shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game. The first free throw is good. And both free throws good for Martin.
He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throws. Beautiful to watch.
And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
Let's see the stat sheet here on J.J. Barea. Now this year is going for him. He's averaging 7 points per game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And when you take his overall contributions on the whole, he's been putting up some pretty good numbers, but I think he can do more.
And Steve, sometimes that's just part of the game, weathering periods where your stats might not show all of what you're doing on the floor.
From 17 feet out, no good. So Minnesota will take it the other way. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
Well, with the number of turnovers they had in that game, guys, it was going to be an uphill battle all the way.
Well, especially, Steve, when you couple the turnovers with the soft defense they were playing. I mean, that's a bad combination. Turning it over and then not defending.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves. 11 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Young is out there with Martin. Then there's Mo Williams. Then there's J.J. Barea. And it's Pekovic in at the center. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Dialed in from long range. I like it.
And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. And Clark, it was quite a nail biter.
Yeah, it was tight. There got.
Looks like someone stole your puppy.
Yeah, man, shoot, we had that in our back pocket and let it get away.
You want to hear a secret?
Yeah, sure.
Key to lasting in this league is never get too high when you win and never get too low when you lose.
So the loss don't mean anything?
Of course it means something. It means I need to learn from it and move on. Every loss is like an anchor on a rope. You let it go, and it's going to drown you. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Greetings, everyone, from Charlotte as we bring you an Eastern Conference contest live from the Time Warner Cable Arena. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and courtside, Doris Burke. Pistons coming to town, hoping to notch this one. Some changes for Charlotte. Williams comes in for Zeller. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Gary Neal. And Detroit with a change here, too. Butler's checked in. It's not very often you can say this about the future is looking pretty bright in Charlotte.
So often the season ends and you're thinking about the issues you've got to deal with, but right now the Hornets headed in a good direction.
On the court for the Pistons, Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. Caron Butler is out there with Smith, and it's Monroe in at the 5 spot.
And poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Some changes for Charlotte. Longley's checked in for Biyombo, and it's Henderson for Lance Stevenson. Detroit also making some changes. DJ Augustine's checked in for Jody Meeks, and it's Buckets in for Brandon Jennings.
And for Charlotte, as you said, part of it is feeling good with their direction, but also they should feel good that they actually have a direction after the way the last few years have gone.
Roberts, the shot misses. And Detroit the other way now, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And Kevin, when you don't take advantage of your trips to the free throw line, which they definitely did not, it's tough to recover from.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, they left a lot of cheese and lettuce at that foul line, partner.
Not to mention some ham and turkey, but...
There's a screen by Williams. Charlotte no good that time either.
Having a direction, as you mentioned, had been a problem with Charlotte because they seem to change their minds every year about who they were going to be, and they did it for the last decade or so. Now it seems as though the base is solid, and they've got an idea of how they want to build and who they want to build around, and they've got a group that can grow together.
Outside, Kid Gilchrist kicks it to Vonleh, and he jams it with authority.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir. That may put a little life back into this team.
Buckets passes to Butler. There's the 3. Can't hit. And Charlotte will come the other way. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Yeah, and in the end, it wasn't even close. I mean, they had points coming from all over the floor.
Boy, they were locked in and ready to roll, and offensively, they just had a rhythm that was impressive.
Kid Gilchrist, no luck.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
9 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Henderson. Good on the 13-footer. Henderson's got his first points of the night.
Yeah, he should thank the defense for those 2 points, really. Nobody paid him any mind there.
Now the second quarter, getting ready to... Now for Charlotte. Vonleh's checked in for Biyombo. Williams comes in for Cody Zeller. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Gerald Henderson. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Gary Neal. On the court for the Pistons, Barlow in at point guard. Smith is out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then it's Greg Monroe. And it's Augustine in at the 2 spot.
A great second quarter here after a difficult first. I'd say they knocked the rust off. Sometimes it takes a little while before you get the blood flowing and you find your rhythm.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. As you know, Cody Zeller was the 4th overall pick in 2013. And Coach Clifford has said he has a lot of physical ability. His basketball IQ is through the roof. He has great intangibles, and he's young. I don't want to limit him in any way, but I want him to progress at his own rate. For us to be good, he's got to be a really big part of it. Kevin, back to you.
An intriguing young talent. Thanks. And Roberts kicks to Vonleh. Shot on the wing. The rebound by Caldwell-Pope.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
The shot's good from Buckets.
You know, it looks like they've recalibrated their approach away from trying the 3-ball.
Yeah, they started out pretty slow from downtown, so I think this is the right adjustment. Try to get the ball inside, go to something new.
Here's Roberts. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Now let's check out and highlight the best defenses in the NBA. 5th on the list, the Hornets.
This is a team that really competes at the defensive end of the floor, guys. They play hard and they play together. They are really tough to score upon.
Boy, they're really battling, guys. Not sitting back, being aggressive, attacking when they have the chance. I like that.
Yeah, and that kind of approach is going to serve them well. It's gotten them to the line more than a few times this quarter.
Pistons leading by 6.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity they have.
Well, they need to be.
Buckets passes to Augustine. Shoots a 3. And the 3 is knocked down. Deep ball good and a nice shot from Buckets. Charlotte has gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second. Getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And, you know, this lead is going to grow if they can continue to get to the free throw line.
The Hornets have gone 5 of 8 from the charity stripe here tonight. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Detroit's gone 2 for 5 from 3-point land since the end of the first. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Doubled by Vonleh. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
17 seconds left in the first half. Roberts dishes to Stevenson. Stevenson left side. Stevenson left side. So it...
Josh, you guys seem...
All right, men. We've done a good job in the first half of taking the momentum and being assertive with our style of play. The first thing I've got to do is give a little tip of the cap to our bench guys. You really answer the bell.
And we welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is on the way. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Vonleh's checked in for Biombo. Williams comes in for Zeller. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Gary Neal. And then for Detroit, Caron Butler's checked in for Monroe. Singler comes in for Smith. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Jody Meeks. Williams is out there with Vonleh. And there's Brian Roberts. Then it's Henderson. And it's Stevenson in at the 2. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. He's checked in for Brandon Jennings. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He went over the offensive plan and that it hinges on running through buckets. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. He also brought up offensive rebounding as something that should be a priority, saying, quote, "Those are the battles we can and should win." Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Detroit.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And they're also really getting out in transition and scoring some hoops in the fast break tonight.
Lance Stevenson, the all-time leading scorer in the history of high school basketball in New York State. And that's something when you consider quite the great players who came before.
Yeah, to be at the top of that list says a lot about his high school career. He actually led Lincoln High School to an unprecedented 4 straight city basketball championships. There's a reason his nickname is Born Ready.
Here's Barlow. Here's Drummond, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Drummond's got 17 now.
It's a great play under the boards for him, and you know that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out.
That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Roberts. Detroit's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Puts it up from 15. Here's Butler. Basket is good. The assist from Augustine. 9 points for Butler.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Here's Roberts. He has 5. On the wing, Stevenson. With the teardrop, and he lays it up and in. Stevenson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Here's Barlow. No good with the tip. And as we end
this Friday.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
Well, this is what you talk about when you have the offensive play coming together.
And for Zeller. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Yarebko's checked in for Monroe. Singler comes in for Smith. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Butler. And it's Buckets in for Jody Meeks. On the floor for Detroit, Barlow, he's in at point guard. Kyle Singler is out there with Yarebko. Then there's Jennings. And it's Caldwell Pope in at the 3. Henderson, no good.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Outside Jennings. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here.
Well, I'm sailing